Thanks for tuning in. My name's Alex from perfectcorals.com, and today I wanted to go over with you how to grow corals. Now, my way isn't the only way to grow corals, but I've been pretty successful with it and I wanted to share it with you guys. So, there's three fundamentals to growing corals, and that's water flow, lighting, and water chemistry. Let's go over those three things now. When growing corals, you have three basic choices with lighting: LED, T5, or metal halides. I have been using LEDs over my tank for probably about the past year, and I have pretty good experience. It took a while to get them adjusted, but I have found that giving them a color of 20K, which can be configured with most LED lights, has been what's worked best for me. Before that, I had metal halides and always used 20K bulbs and had amazing growth. LEDs can also give you amazing growth, but it just takes some tweaking. With T5, you have a combination of multiple bulbs that you can put into the lighting fixture. These bulbs can range in color from purple, UV, blue, green, red, basically any color you can imagine. So you have a lot more variety on color with T5s. Growing coral with LED lights can take some time to get used to just because of the sheer strength that LEDs have. I've burned multiple corals with my LED lights because I had the setting too high, then realized I needed to lower it down a little bit. With T5s and metal halides, usually you don't have that problem as much. Alright, let's talk about water flow now. Usually in your reef tank you want to have pretty high water flow. Especially in an SPS tank you want to have even higher water flow. Let's say you have a tank of around 100 gallons. You probably want to have around 2,000 gallons per hour in that tank of water flow. Now I got to 2,000 because I just took 100 and multiplied it by 20. And that seems to be a safe number to go with. I would even suggest maybe even a little bit more, but it's up to you and the type of corals you're keeping. SPS coral really require high flow, like the one you're seeing now. Other corals like this hammer coral don't require as much flow and really will do better in indirect flow because they use their tentacles to grab onto free floating particles in the water to eat. So if you have too much flow, it's really probably going to do more damage than good to these guys. So you want to find probably some spots where you can have low indirect flow and some other spots where you can put corals where they'll get a lot of flow, and find out what works best for you. Our final subject for today is water chemistry. Water chemistry can get really complex in a reef tank, but let's just keep it simple. Let's start with salinity. In a reef tank, you want to keep your salinity between 1.024 and 1.026. Preferably if you can keep it between 1.025 and 1.026, that's even better. Now you can use your refractometer to measure salinity, and I've always found those to be the most accurate compared to those swinging arm salinity measurement tools. They always seem to be unreliable and inaccurate. Now, the other elements that we need to maintain in a reef aquarium are calcium, magnesium, and alkalinity. Calcium, you should keep it between 400 to 450 parts per million, and magnesium, we should keep it between 1250 parts per million and 1400 parts per million. And alkalinity should be between 8 to 11 DKH. Now, I have found the best way to maintain all these trace elements and major elements is by doing water changes often, usually 10 to 20% every week. Now, these trace elements and major elements can be maintained by dosing, but I don't think it mimics natural seawater as well. And really what we want to do in a reef tank is mimic natural seawater. So by doing large water changes on a consistent basis, replaces all those trace elements and major elements consistently. That's just my advice, but it may be different for you. Thanks for watching this introductory video on how to grow corals. In our next video, we'll be going into more detail on those three aspects that we just talked about. You can catch us online at perfectcorals.com or follow us on our Instagram or Facebook. Thanks and happy reefing.